Hi, I'm Sally, and today we're going to talk about 7 very common food types that your dog can get hold of but will actually do him a lot of damage. The first food that we're going to talk about is chocolate. Chocolate is absolutely lethal to dogs, and it's really important that you don't allow your dog access to chocolate at all. Not only does chocolate poison the dog as it goes in, the dog's body, unlike the human body, takes 36 hours to be able to digest the poisonous chemical in chocolate. So if your dog eats it, by the time it's got through the digestive system, it's reabsorbed back into the body and the dog is poisoned again and again and again. Dark chocolate is the most problematic because that has the most amount of cocoa, but even milk chocolate the size of a Mars bar could poison a dog. So it's really important that even if he's looking at you and really wants some, you don't give your dog any chocolate at all. The second thing that your dog can eat that also contains theobromine is cocoa mulch, which is actually a very common garden fertiliser. It basically is a fertiliser that makes the garden grow really well. Unfortunately, carries parts of the cocoa plant. So if you have fertiliser for your garden and your dog has access to it, please do make sure that it doesn't have any cocoa or cocoa mulch in at all, because this will have exactly the same reaction in your dog's body as if you were feeding him chocolate. The next food to really watch out for with your dog is grapes and raisins. Grapes aren't so toxic as raisins purely because of the high water content in the grape. However, please avoid giving your dog grapes or raisins because they are highly toxic in the dog's body. Now, scientists don't know what the ingredient is in grapes and raisins that causes problems within the dog's body, but we do know that within a few days of ingesting it, the kidneys can go into kidney failure, which can be fatal. So the most important thing to do is make sure that the dog doesn't get grapes and raisins, and particularly at Christmas time when there's lots of Christmas pudding and mince pies and all that kind of food around. It's really not worth the risk of giving your dog not even a few raisins or even a few grapes, because it's really bad for the body. A food type that you may not have heard of being bad for dogs but is renowned in the veterinary profession is onions. And whether the onions are cooked or whether they are raw, they are actually really bad for the dog. What they do within the dog's body is they stop the red blood cells being able to carry oxygen through the body, because they cause the red blood cells to clump up. And these clumps that the vet calls Heinz clumps, or the Heinz reaction. Now, if a dog goes into a vet's feeling unwell and they find that the red blood cells aren't being able to carry the oxygen around the body, onion poisoning is the first thing that the vet will look for. So even if you've got fried onions on a hot dog or on a burger, please don't give them to your dog, just purely because they can have such a lethal reaction in your dog's body, which can actually be fatal. As you're probably aware, onions are a bulb, and the bulbs that you plant in your garden, whether it's hyacinth bulbs, spring bulbs, or even daffodils in the springtime, if you have a hungry dog that's more than happy to go and eat everything he finds, please don't allow your dog access to these bulbs. If you do, your dog can become very ill indeed, and it can actually be fatal if your dog eats garden bulbs. So please don't allow access to them. Sighthole is an artificial sweetener that's made it into a lot of food that we have. It's being put in the place of sugar because we think it's healthier. Sadly, it's very unhealthy for our dogs. So if you give your dog peanut butter or anything like mince or or he gets hold of chewing gum or anything like that, it could possibly have Sighthole in it. And this food is really, really bad for dogs. It's actually quite lethal for dogs. So please be aware and check the ingredients of anything at all that you give to your dog that may contain Sighthole. Another food that a lot of people do feed to their dogs, but I wouldn't risk, is dog bones. This is because a bone can actually get stuck in the dog's digestive system, causing serious problems and the need for a very serious operation. It's a big risk. However, if you are going to feed your dog bones, or you always have fed your dog bones, it's important that you only feed the non-weight bearing bones, such as chicken wings and things like that. Don't feed cooked chicken bones, and really avoid any bones that the animal would have been weight bearing for the animal, because this can cause serious problems. Or even better still, give your dog a carrot every day. This will be able to clean his teeth in much the same way as a bone would, and you don't have to worry about anything getting stuck on the way through your dog's body.